Let's talk about prayer. Because the truth is, I don't always do this so well. You see, Jesus teaches us about prayer, and when he teaches the disciples how to pray, he goes at it first things first. Number one, he tells them, you are to recognize the holiness of God your Father. After that, he gives number two, you are to say to God, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. There's so much purpose in this. You see, what we have in this is we have a holy God with a holy will. In chapter 12 of Romans, Paul calls this God's good, pleasing, and perfect will. Why is it that I have so much trouble saying, God, you are holy and your will is good, pleasing, and perfect, so let's have that thing that you would have happen to happen? Instead, when I pray, I tend to pray like this. I tend to pray, hey, guess what, God, I got an idea for you. Guess what, God, I got something for you, and here's how I think it should play out, and so go for it. And when someone wants to ask how things are going, and I want to talk about answered prayers, what I'm going to gauge that answered prayer upon is how well it fits Tim's will, and not the will of God. This, church, this is a tragedy. Not only does Jesus teach us what it is that we're supposed to say, but he exemplifies this. Jesus in the garden, awaiting the cross, all of the fury and the madness and the torture of the cross, says, if there be any other way, let this cup pass from me, but nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. Jesus, the Savior and Sustainer, the Creator of all things, has to say to the Father, not my will, but your will be done. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I to stand there and say, God, do it this way? Who am I to look to people who come to me and say, has God answered your prayer? And me say, no, not yet. Not yet. You know what not yet means? When I say God has not yet answered my prayer, what I'm really saying is God's still doing things his way and in his timing, and I've not gotten on board with that. In short, church, let's do this. Let's become a people who humble ourselves before a holy God and say, I recognize your holiness. I recognize your superiority. I recognize the glory of your will. And that's what I want. I want it perfectly. I want it on earth just like it is in heaven.